You've been very busy. So you're on the patch team as well, right?
Well, I'm helping oversee things. If you mean the Starfield
Mm-hmm.
community patch, I back when the server wasn't as busy, I volunteered to moderate it. Nowadays, it's too busy to even keep up. I'm probably the one moderator who doesn't even read the server anymore. I just can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're probably we been contributing to it once um, CK comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Previously I made some stuff for Fallout 4 without a creation kit, like when we only had Xedit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not exactly enjoyable modding. I just sort of I did it because I had to.
I I feel yeah. I was interviewing someone on the Discord, Desi. He's been creating mods, and he walked through the Xedit because I wanted to do kind of a tutorial for how to use Xedit because I want people to start
Mhm.
modding as soon as possible. You get them on Xedit, and it was nice because I had no idea about Xedit. I only used the CK, and so it was kind of interesting to see the process of it. It's not as bad as I thought, but I work with Excel sheets a lot, and that's terrifying to do more Excel sheets. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, it's if you know the inner workings of the game, you know what these entries mean. If you don't understand it, if you're new to it, it looks so confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know what all the different like references are and different sort of categories, it's fairly simple and it's really powerful. I couldn't even I don't know what I did wrong with the first editions of Starfield Edit. I couldn't make anything with it. I couldn't make new records. I couldn't make new like plugins. But I figured it out, and I didn't even have to ask anyone. Yay me!
Well done. Well, I was kind of impressed because it had a like a drop down. So if you started typing, it will find all those reference folders, and you can just like click
It's
on to that.
I feel like they've improved that a lot. Back when I was trying to find some and like some IDs or forms for Skyrim, it
Hmm.
wasn't like it was hopeless. You typed something and it would think for like 5 minutes and it would just show you all the entries instead of the one you were looking for. But now I was able to like find things for that because I wanted to see my spaceships
Hmm.
and don't have access to the project anymore. So I was like, how do I find them? I can't remember the names. The names of ship habs are like weird, long, and they have different values. Anyway, and I was trying to find those in Xedit, and I was able to search for them like with the manufacturers.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. He adds ammunition to weapons, and also like he created drug manufacturers. So they like everything was pretty nicely labeled, and how to do like a patch over everything was like, cleanly laid out. I actually felt like I may be able to touch Xedit, so that I was impressed because
Hmm,
I've always
nice.
been terrified of it. I only used Xedit to change ESPs to ESMs. That's it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It makes sense after you like understand what all the text means, sort of.
Yeah.
There's still so much I don't understand about it. There's loads, and I don't understand any of the scripts. I guess I can read the scripts if I see one. I can sort of understand what this does,
Hmm.
but please don't ask me to write any of this or alter this. Like that's maybe the best I could do. I could alter some script to do a little bit something different,
I
but code makes my brain hurt. So
I'm
any
right
kind
there
of
with
code
you.
or scripting.
Yeah.
I'm an artist at my heart and in my brain, and it's just whenever I see something too complicated, technical things, I my brain shuts down and starts singing and doing
It's-
samba, and I'm like, no, we're not dealing with this.
you start just chasing the proverbial butterfly around in your imagination as
Yeah, yeah. You
yeah.
can hear modem sounds like it's just something's happening, but yeah. But I'm so happy that we have it now. So good.
Oh yeah, I mean so many things have jumped up. I've been a part of Ghostface and Desi working together, and they added fuel, so now it takes fuel to jump to systems. um,
Oh.
Yeah, he actually had to write how the fuel works because they can't find the system that they were using originally within the engine yet,
Mm,
probably because of the
yeah,
CK. But
yeah.
he smudged the numbers enough so that it actually works to jump. And with that and the ammunition mod, it's like slowly developing a survival mod
It,
essentially.
oh my, my brain is just. How do people do this? They are so talented. It's crazy. Best I can do is copy a record and change something,
Mm.
and that's it.
Well,
Maybe if I dived in more, but I could figure out. But definitely not something like sophisticated like that.
but that's what we do. We make the dialogue. We make, or you make the things pretty. You make the things that all connect together. Because right now it's really rough. You have to go into a
Mm,
text document that they use like a book or something. You're reading a book in game, and then
mm,
you find the fuel. You add the fuel that way. I mean, it's creative, but
yeah.
it's lacking that polish right now because I think we need the CK to get to that level.
Oh yeah, there's probably like workarounds, and you have to. It's a bit the same as when you're making anything. You figure out a way around the problem
Hmm.
that you have. Like, how would I go about this? There's some, like you said, using a book as the fuel. It sounds exactly the kind of duct tape solutions that we use in modding sometimes because the game you weren't actually meant to do that. Like
Right.
one of the things I really do is if I want to create a new mesh within the creation kit and I can make parts of it invisible, I can remove it by applying a blank invisible texture. It's still there. A collision is still there, but it will be look like it doesn't exist. And it's a trick that I've been using a lot.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that.
That's the beauty of the CK, right? In Sim Settlements 2, when you get the radio call from HQ, it's actually an
Mm.
invisible NPC right in front of you. So that's
Oh
what locks
yeah.
you into place.
Oh, I was thinking about how they did that. That is so clever. Of
Yeah.
course. But Sim Settlements is mind-boggling. Like the amount of work and tricks that's gone into it to create like a totally unique experience that you'd never believe that you can do in Fallout. It's just wonderful.
It's crazy. I mean, he's King Gath has said that he knows he's a programmer in real life, but he was like, I know Papyrus way more than I know the rest of the languages now from doing this for 7 years. I'm like, I believe you, man. So, I got the good news that you were working on Starfield. So I'm sure people are curious about how that all came to be in fruition.
So that was all thanks to the Creation Club. Is
Hmm.
since 2017, I've been sort of working with Bethesda officially, and I was hired earlier as a contractor. I sort of helped other people's project. I was doing like checks on other creations and doing a lot, and then they needed more hands on deck for Starfield. This was back when there was still the origin launch date, so everything
Hmm.
was on fire when I joined, pretty much.
Right.
Like I got transferred from lighting to clutter and like ship hubs at some point because that's where help was most needed, and I was comfortable around CK.
Hmm.
So it was, but it was amazing, and I still can't quite understand that I was part of it. It's wild. I don't think my brain will ever quite digest it.
Well, I got to say, the clutter in Starfield is definitely top notch. I like the world around there. I've run across one that had a book on a table and it said, do not read, and you can't pick it up, like it's attached to the actual table.
Mm. Nice. It's a bit weird with Starfield sometimes because the environmental storytelling takes over systems that you're used to, like you're used to picking up books or something like that. Sometimes the objects are actually static because they're meant to be part
Hmm.
of the decoration. So not always, but sometimes, like you said, with the book, or if there's like a notepad that has a sticky note on it. Sometimes there are static objects that you wouldn't expect to be static like that. I did a little bit of that. There were some computer cores, and there's like these computers that have sticky posts that says, but post-it notes that said "fix it" or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That I did a lot of little detailing like that. There's so much in this game, and it was so amazing. I can't wait for everyone to get their hands on the creation kit.
Yeah.
It's so much fun decorating in this game. There's loads of stuff. There's so much stuff.
So, how was it actually decorating with their program? Because you've worked with the CK forever. How was it with the actual system they're using behind the scenes?
Oh well, there was the difference. Really, the biggest differences was that there was version control.
Mm.
Some bigger modding teams already use it, so it's possible to enable that for older versions of Bethesda's creation kit.
Yeah.
So there was that. So and then of course there were new additions like with the lighting. The lighting is incredible now, and it's quite an intricate system that you do now.
Hmm.
So that was different. But then there was the familiar things like how to hot swap items and materials. So you could do that same stuff, and it I was just immediately ready to work with it when I started on my first day with the project.
Oh, and top question: how's loading?
Do you mean loading plugins in,
Loading the plugins and
or
loading in general between screens, because I know for CK going to the dialogue and going into those functions,
oh,
it can be a
I
little slow on the regular CK.
I haven't touched those, so I have no experience.
Oh, okay.
But so I wouldn't be making quests or doing dialogue windows, so I don't know how long they take to load. But since it's a new game, there's a lot of new cool, neat things. There's also new things in the creation kit. We won't know how much of that will go to the public release version that the modders can use, but
Hmm.
it's still a lot of neat stuff. And because I have experience of it, so I'm hoping there will be a beta like there was with special edition of Skyrim and then Fallout, and I could start like tinkering with it before it reaches the public, so I can make some tutorials because I'll be super familiar with it, especially with like lightning and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to make some tutorials and showing off some neat things that you can do.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll probably have to hit you up for that for doing one of the tutorials, and I can play devil's advocate as someone who doesn't know anything about
Mm.
lighting.
Hello, cat. You are now between my face and the microphone. Thank you. I
It's
cat.
a P filter. It's just the
Yep.
perfect amount of
Pop, pop,
fuzz.
pop, pop. Hello. Can we hug later? Because I'm kind of in the middle of something here. Oh, cat butt in my face.
That's how you
There
know
we
they
go.
like you.
It's showing affection. No, you can no. Please go into your basket. Thank you. Hyvä. Okay, there we go.
Uh,
Anyway, where were we?
so I'm sure you've been playing it now. You got to play the fruit of your loins. How's it been? How's it been going around and playing the game? What have you been enjoying about it?
Oh, I'm still like I feel like I've only scratched the surface, and I have almost 300 hours on it.
Hmm.
I did while I was working on it. Intentionally avoided things that could be spoilers. Obviously, the game wasn't in a finished full form when I was working on it. It was, but I avoided the main quest. I
Hmm.
avoided. I I only tested things that I needed to test for my own work, like the locations that I worked on. So there was my very little spoilers, so I've been able to enjoy it like fully as just a player, except when I like stop every 2 minutes to take pictures because the game is gorgeous. Every time I go into a new planet, I take pictures. As, I don't remember where I've been anymore, but I still have the pictures. And
That's some willpower not to explore into it.
yeah, so it's been. I'm so glad that I can still enjoy it as a player, and I didn't sort of get tired of it or anything during development at
Yeah.
all. It's my favorite things are surveying planets. Every time I go into some people say it gets repetitive to survey planets and go to new places, and they're all supposedly all copies of each other. Maybe it's a blank moon with like nothing on it, but all the planets are so beautiful, and I'm always excited to land on new one. What am I gonna find?
Mm.
Though, because of my hoarding habits, I don't really explore the points of interest all that much because otherwise I'll be stuck with inventory management for half an hour after every planet I explore.
Yeah.
But so much fun.
Yeah.
But
I kind of I'm wondering about the inventory on that because it's like I need an easier way to transport all that because I'm a loot hound too, quicker
yeah.
into the ship or have I don't know some sort of cart you could carry with you that you could just shove stuff in.
Yeah. Oh, we need like a call ship. There are mods to help with that. I don't know what they should have done in the base game.
Hmm.
I understand the choices made for like inventory management and carry weight and all that stuff, but you can fix it with mods. You can fix it with mods. So I play unmodded. I
Hmm.
haven't. I want to do it as a tradition that first I play this game through and through without mods, so I know what I need to work on, what I want to install, so I know the game inside and out. So that's what I've been doing, like taking every side quest and checking every planet. Still, I maybe explored 10% of the galaxy, the whole universe that you can explore in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I get so stuck. Like I go to a place and I get new quests all the time, and it's crazy. Anyway, no mods for me. I have the achievement enabler,
Right.
so I can use the console, because once I got stuck and I unstuck myself with the console and I broke my achievement because of that. This is all I did. I unstuck myself, closed the game, restarted the game, and achievements were gone. I'm like, this is my first playthrough. Don't do this to me.
Yep.
So I had to get that mod. Thank goodness for that mod. And then for my player house, I don't want to cheat carry weight for my ship or like for my character. But in my player house, every container that I built now has 5,000 carry weight,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to put everything I store. I want to loot everything.
Right.
I have hundreds of succulents and coffee mugs. I need to keep them somewhere. I don't want to throw them away. So I store them in my house in Aquila.
Yeah, and you got a decoration, right? You need all that stuff.
Yeah, I need. Eventually, I'll get around to putting all the hundred succulents around the house. Eventually, maybe.
Yeah, I like the actual menu for decorating. How you have the axis and how it can become like a static item if you want inside your house, and how it can lock into
Yeah,
place. I thought that was really cool.
yeah. This just needs to make so that the items that you place with the place tool, I guess, don't sink into the surfaces the next time you enter. But
Right.
someone will eventually fix. I don't know if someone will eventually fix that, but I don't. Yeah, I've been trying to decorate my house a little bit. I do like that there is the place function. It just quite doesn't work yet.
Right.
But the building is they took some good bits from Fallout 76, left out some bits that were nice. Like you can't zoom, like you can't zoom in and out the item. You know, like move it with the
All
mouse
right.
scroll. In Fallout 4, you were able to like hand place items by scrolling. It would go further from your character or come closer to your character, and then you could fine tune it when you place it. That doesn't exist in Starfield, and I find it weird. I think they might add that because
Yeah.
they've been um, in patches. They've been upgrading Fallout 76 to different kinds of new functions and features.
Mm-hmm.
So that there might be improvements coming to the build mode.
Yeah, I'm missing walls, regular houses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sometimes maybe it feels a little bit like they've run out of time with some of the functionality of of the game, and they want to get it out. It's very polished,
Mm-hmm.
but you feel like there could be something more there, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to what they do with patches.
Yeah, you know, you got it right. It feels like polished. It feels like they're like, okay, we want it to be the least buggiest as possible, and so they did it very safely. And
Yeah,
they cut off
it
where
is.
they were and then polished it and then sent it out.
It's a game. I don't know about anyone else, but the game feels complete to me. Like there are things that could be done differently or could be added to it, but you can play the game for
Mm-hmm.
hundreds of hours, and enjoy it, and it doesn't feel incomplete or buggy. Not to me, at least. Your mileage may vary. I understand the inner workings that happens under the hood, so I may be a little bit biased, but
I
the
think you're
game
right.
feels complete. But it doesn't mean that there's no room for improvement.
Right. It got polished, and now there's a bunch of features and things that would fit nicely into, like, you know, having a mech, or having you know, taking Basco and then like the robot DLC, giving him different pieces. There's a
Yeah,
lot
stuff
of
like that.
places for this game to go.
And there's a lot of things you can be added. There's more stories about House Varoon that can be
Oh yeah.
the different factions, different companions can be added. The systems are there. There's so much content that can be added to this. No, I don't know. I haven't started a new game yet. Some people said you shouldn't, and they're disappointed that they did it. But I'm also kind of looking forward to it. But yeah, I don't know what New Game Plus is.
Oh, you
I
great.
have no idea.
Yeah.
I haven't completed the main quest yet. I'm still in the process of doing it. I think I have revelations, so
Hmm.
I have all the artifacts that I can collect.
Yeah.
But that's it. I haven't gone there because I want to complete everything else before I do it. I'm gonna say like try to stay spoiler
Of
free.
course, I'm not
So
going to ruin it
before
for
I
you.
do the thing. before I do the
You
thing.
made the right
I,
choice. That's all I'm gonna say, is that you
okay,
taking your
yeah.
time, going through, emotionally attaching yourself to the world is the best way to go about it, and then when you're ready, get to that level.
Yeah.
I rushed it, and I think that was a poor choice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you can. I don't know how. Yeah, it's the first time I get to experience the game, so I want to do everything. Except maybe I'm gonna skip like the Skyrim syndrome, where you have to be the leader of every faction. Like
Yeah.
after 5 minutes of playing with them, like I don't want to be an assassin, thief, guild master, archmage of Starfield space.
Yeah.
Like, I this character is goody two shoes. She's gonna stay good. They're good and helping everyone and making all those same choices. And there is not going to be any Raijin Industries play or Crimson Fleet stuff. That's gonna be explored in New Game Plus.
Yeah, I kind of wish Bethesda would shut down those paths when you chose one. That's just how I am,
Mm,
because I
yeah.
mean, you play the game, you want to play a main character, and the more you let yourself be into those gray areas and stuff, it kind of takes away from your character build, and it's kind of like, well,
Hmm.
I'll just do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
do like the subtle commentary on how we play and approach video games as the main character in the New Game Plus thing, if it's what I expect it to be.
Hmm. Yeah. So I know you're not playing with mods right now, but when you do get to that point, what are some mods that you're really looking forward to? What are some things that you want to be, the first mods out for you?
Um, I'm probably gonna end up making those all those myself. There are things that I want in my game, so definitely new build mode objects.
Hmm.
Like there isn't enough. It's great that they have all these display options, but I want more like decorations and clutter and furniture. And one thing that I keep thinking already that I might be able to make with Xedit, if I would be able to stare at it long enough, is different kinds of containers. Because right now, all the containers that you can place in your player home are space crates. They're like
Mm,
really sci-fi, and they look like storage crates. And where are the dresses?
right.
Where are the wardrobes? Where are bookshelves? I want a bookcase that actually functions. This is where I keep my books, and this is where I keep my clothes, and some sort of like there's weapon racks, sure, but something that looks like you could store your weapons in it.
More wood.
More wood options for storage. I don't want these plastic or whatever they are crates. So
Hmm.
that kind of thing, so that there would actually be meaning in building shelves and cupboards a player home. None of them are functional, and also they need to be able to store more stuff. I
Yeah.
understand the limits in like outposts, and you want to be making things, and you have to put effort into being able to store materials.
Hmm.
That's fine. It's part of the gameplay. But if I want to collect 5,000 succulents, let me place it in my home and don't try to limit me. That's one thing that I really want to make, like bigger storage and bigger options, like more options for it, for the player homes especially, not so much outposts. I don't know how much people like building in outposts. Probably the same people who loved settlement building in
Hmm.
Fallout 4 are gonna be the outpost people now.
Yeah,
Mm,
I enjoy it, and I'm not like overly like, I'm not sitting there. I'll decorate maybe one thing in Skyrim, and then I won't decorate for years. Like I get attached to one, and I'll do one, and then once I'm done with it, then I'm just playing the game. But I did like when I did the fuel mod, with Ghost Faces as testing it out. I did like having the purpose of building, uh, just a place to get gas, to get fuel for my ship.
yeah,
I thought that was a
yeah,
really cool way to entice you to build.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so I'm all about having function with my player house, or my space station, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah, sounds really good. I think I'm just like too all over the place in the game right now. There's so much to do. I don't have time to figure out where to collect nickel until the end of times, like, or to collect all the companions and followers and a crew that you can get.
Hmm.
Like that's there somewhere after I've done like a few thousand hours and done everything else I want to do in the game. It doesn't feel urgent for me right now, but I can see the interest. I can see myself doing some of the outposting stuff as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
being tied to having, because I spent a long time trying to find one on the beach that also had resources, but
Mm.
resources aren't really near the beach. And I was like, God, I want to be like on a
Oh,
mountain and finding the location, but it does kind of tie you because you don't want to create an outpost that has no purpose, or at least in my mind's eye.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, I love that you can remove them. I love
mhm.
that you can remove. Like, I don't like this choice anymore. I found a better place. I'm gonna settle here instead, and you can remove the outpost because I hate like extra clutter in your menus and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, having
Like,
all these locations that you need to just live with in your UI.
yeah, I'm a little bit angry that there's still that whole you walk past a guard and suddenly there's a quest in your quest log about some random NPC.
Yeah, I thought
Mm.
Bethesda would have
Like,
learned.
yeah, people don't necessarily like that. I like that if you talk to a guard and you're like, oh hey, have you heard any news or what's the word around town? And then it gives you the beer run. I
Hmm.
don't know what the quest beer run is, but I walked past the guard and now I have a beer run quest. And it annoys me because I can't even remember what planet it's from.
Hmm. Like I don't
So
mind hearing it in the background and then go walk up to him and talk to the guy who said it.
right. Right. I understand like so they want to give you more quests so that you don't run out of things to do and that sort of thing, but please make it voluntary.
Yeah,
Or let me like remove the quest from my log and say I'll do it later. Like in Fallout 76, you can do the daily quests, but you can remove them and if you want to do it again, you can just go back to the NPC that gave you the quest and restart it.
yeah,
Same with other games. Like if you abandon a quest, you can do it later by talking to the NPC again. I don't know why. I don't know if it's how the engine works. It could be some sort of a limitation with how the quests run and things.
yeah. It's
It
not a
might be
loop,
that
I think.
their stage is two quests, and once the quest is at a certain stage, it's not recommended to go back. It's not the way the quests work in this game, but anyway, make it optional to talk to an NPC and get the quest. I love talking to NPCs and getting quests sometimes.
Yeah, I just want it naturally to appear. The one that actually makes me crazy is when I want to go sell stuff and I talk to, was it Siegfried? I can't remember his name on
Mm,
Neon. And he gives you his
yeah.
whole spiel, and you got to engage with his dialogue before you can get to let me sell this thing. Or trade
Yeah.
authority, and he gives you his whole spiel before you can sell this thing. It's like every time you play a new game or a new round, and you have to, hear the same like
Oh.
spiel. Like I just wish it was like he says one thing and then you have the trade option right there. If you want to know more about him or continue and engage with his
Mm,
conversation, you have that choice. It just seemed a little too pigeonholed for some of these
mhm.
conversations.
Yeah, it's and there is I want to just immediately go sell to this NPCs. In Fallout 4, I use a mod called Quick Trade.
Hmm.
So if you're when you're close enough to an NPC, you press a key, hotkey, and it opens the vendor menu. No, if you're quick, you can even like walk up to uh who's the Myrna in Fallout in Diamond City, who always gives you like no funny business. You can walk up to her really quickly, and she won't even say anything, and you get to trade with her. We need that mod. We need quick trade
Yeah.
in Starfield. I was gonna say Scarfield. Oh,
Scarfield.
Skyfield. My brain is. It's been a long day. But anyway, yeah.
Skyrim Field.
So quick trade would be nice. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to.
And more money in the mercantile for sure.
It's actually pretty fun that you can like go to Neon and New Atlantis and Aquila and you can just uh, drain the vendors of their credits. It's fun. I haven't had the problem where I had too much stuff to sell.
Mm.
I always like it takes a few jumps, but then you're like 50,000 richer. It's
Right, but
nice.
if you're trying to grind it and you have to go to Venus, to get your days moved really fast so you can get all the
Mm,
mercantile, just an extra step to unload a couple guns you have that you can blow through 5,000 credits. Sometimes it'd be nice
yeah.
if they're like boosted to 10,000.
Is
Um,
there there's no perk that would give merchants more money? Is there under
yeah.
social? There could be like a trade that would give. Eventually, there's in Skyrim at least, and maybe in Fallout. I've never took the charisma perks where vendors have more caps,
Mm-hmm.
or September credits.
Yeah, I'm all for that one.
But
That's
I love that. But I love that we can even do that without modding the game. We can just use the console commands or game settings for that. Like the early days when we didn't have any way to make plugins, people would just like make bat files and bat files for days.
mhm.
Like I did. I love that I was able to change my containers carry weight with the console. I would just select the container and set carry weight, same as with the player. That was
Mhm.
brilliant. That was awesome.
Yeah, it's nice so you don't have to go in text edit.
Yeah, now there's like a bazillion mods that let you change the vendor credits.
Yeah, no, it's true. And poor Xbox players, but that's
That's true.
yeah. I have a
I
couple in
always
my
forget.
Discord. I feel bad for them.
Right.
We've already answered my question. I was going to say, how is decorating randomly generated locations and POIs, and how was it different from Fallout 4?
Yeah, I didn't do any of those. I did like I did ship hubs and then I did a couple of like static locations that are always there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't look into it because a lot of the stuff is randomly generated, the poise. But then there's on the planets there are set locations. Like on the moon, Luna, there is a NASA research base
Mm-hmm.
which I lighted, and I don't know how to find that on the planet. Do you come across it, or does it get enabled when you get to that part of the quest?
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah. I don't know because yeah, those show up in those locations automatically for the missions. There's certain missions that are tied to those locations that just don't change.
Mm,
I
like
kind of
when
wish
you
they
go
did.
there. Yeah, is it possible to find that NASA moon base before you're in the quest part for
You
that? I
can. You
don't
can't
know.
open it though.
Yeah.
You can't open the doors.
Oh, right. I was so surprised when I was. I knew it was a quest because there were like these data slides that you had to find, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And I didn't pay attention to the naming of the slides. Bethesda does that MQ main quest or
Hmm.
something like that with the naming. I was just, "Oh, there's data slides. I need to put lights in here so that it guides the player a little bit." And then I was working on it. Then I was playing the game, and I got to the part in the main quest where you end up in the land base. I was mind blown. I was like, "Holy fuck! I am in the Skyrim Starfield main quest." Something I worked on is on the main quest line.
Oh man.
Everyone does it. Well, not everyone, those who avoid the main quest, obviously. But I was like, that is mind blowing. And then I got the ship from my parents, and that had my favorite hab, which I worked on, which was the captain's quarters for Hope Tech.
Oh, I love the
I was like,
parents.
the parents is so good.
Yeah, you know
They're
who they
so,
are, right? Yeah, from
yeah,
Star.
yeah,
Yeah,
from
Tyrann
Star
Reese.
Trek. Yeah, mind blown when I found out. But anyway, so I was the feeling of the millions and millions of people are standing in my hab or do the main quest in
That is
the location
awesome.
that I led. It's it's wild. You don't even know. I almost passed out from excitement when I was following the main quest, and I was like, "Is this the moon base? Oh shit!"
I think that's the dream of so many modders is to have
Uh,
that moment that's immortalized in gaming history. You know.
yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I don't even know. I don't have words how wild it is.
Yeah, I enjoyed all the aspects of it, and when I
Mm.
look at reviews on like Steam or something, and people who've played it for like 200, 300 hours, 400 hours, and they're like, yeah, it was good, but I kind of ran out of things, and I don't think it held up. I was like, you played for 200 to 300 hours. How can you give this a thumbs down? Like you played 4 games worth, and you're like,
Right?
nah, not for me. Like what?
Yeah.
It's just
17,000 hours. I'm like, yes, it's okay game. I don't know. It
yeah. I was
didn't
like,
really strike me as a great game.
it just seems weird that there's this such a wave of negativity right now around Starfield, and usually things don't bug me, but it's kind of irritating. Some of the things people are
Mm,
saying, and like,
it's like it's fashionable to hate on the new game again.
yeah,
Didn't we see this with Fallout 4 as well? People were like comparing it to other Fallouts, and again, once again, the comparison to Skyrim, how it's not a masterpiece like Skyrim. I think it is. If you're looking for a Skyrim in space, it might not be
Hmm.
the kind of game, but I mean, I can see myself playing another 3,000 hours easily, and I could do it without mods too, as long as I have my carry weight in my player home.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. I said out of all the games, if I had to be on an island and I could only play one of these games for the rest of my life on this island, I would choose Starfield. Because I don't know who remembers Skyrim without mods, who's remembered Fallout 4 without mods, but they're
Mm,
definitely not Starfield. Starfield without mods is a complete game with tons to do.
right. Like
Fallout 4 and
the
Skyrim's
worst,
were shells before all the patches and mods.
right? Yeah, I think it's just when the game came out, it was getting raving reviews. But then, like after 300 hours, people were getting bored, and I think it's mind-boggling because you played the game. y- If you compare the price that you paid and the amount of time you spent on it, it's not bad. Like I'm looking at things that I've completed. Like Redfall, I enjoyed it, but I only played it for like 40 hours, and I completed the game, and I collected everything, and I'm fine with that. Like
Yeah,
it was a thing, and I can go back to it later once it doesn't like. When it interests me again,
yeah.
it's
Same with
it's so
Skyrim.
strange that people, yeah, like why did people change their mind so much? And is it fashionable to hate on Bethesda games again? I criticism there's some there's merit to some of the criticism,
Hmm.
sure, but the game feels completable and it's so much fun still. I feel like I've only scratched the surface, and I've done a few hundred hours.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that as I'm saying is like when you played Skyrim, you'd play it, 200, 300 hours. You get there, you get the quest. You're like, oh, cool. Put it down for a while, then go back to it, put some mods on it, and check it out again, and go, oh, okay, cool. I like this. It's a growth. It's a progression. It's a game that's always in your background, that's loaded into your Steam, that
Yeah.
you change up time to time from the mods. No one plays a game for 200, 300 hours and be like, oh. I'm not getting bored at all. Like, there's some repetitive notions when I'm doing this every day for, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's life. But
One friend recommends against this game. Who are you even? I'm looking at my Steam,
hmm
and on the store page for Starfield, there's one friend who recommends against the game. Hmm.
like to go out of your way for a game that is fleshed out, like beautiful scenes, functional
Yes.
driving, building. Like, yes, not everything is fully developed, like to what every intricacy people were hoping for. I think that's what got him. But it's like
Right.
you couldn't expect that. I mean, Star Citizen has been in development for how long? And
Mm.
where's your story? Yeah, sure, the models are fun. I like playing multiplayer, but by yourself, it will only take you so far. There's not that much to do in a
Mm.
game like that that's
It's
been in development for 10 years.
yeah. So
Start.
it's crazy to me like how much flack this game seems to be getting after the great reviews on Steam.
Yeah.
Oh, everywhere. Like in the beginning, everyone was like, "Wow, our minds are blown," and then no, it's weird. I'm not gonna look at this because people are wrong.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put the Steam away, put the mixed reviews away, and I'm just gonna enjoy this game. When the time comes, I'm gonna mod the shit out of this game and
mhm.
enjoy it.
And all the
Like,
modders I've been talking to have felt the same way. They're like, "Yeah, it's a Bethesda game. This is what I was expecting. I'm gonna, of course, mod it because this is what I was expecting to mod." So, I'm happy that the people that actually will be modding this game feel that way.
yeah.
It's just those who did not know apparently Bethesda games got in and were not expecting what they got.
Oh, yeah. It does. It does. It feels very familiar if you've enjoyed other Bethesda titles from like Fallout 4, Skyrim. It feels very familiar the way it
Hmm.
plays, but at the same time, it's something completely new, and I just never get tired of exploring it. And there's so many stories and NPCs to still talk to, and I do intend to check out every planet, survey every planet. I don't know if I'll do it on this playthrough or
Mm.
if I'll what I'm gonna do with that, but I am there's still creatures and plants that I've never seen before, and it's always exciting to me. And I think if you have that mindset, you can get so much out of this game. If the points of interest that repeats are feel like they're like not for you, they could be not for you.
Hmm.
But to me, every time I land on a new planet, I'm excited, and I spend time taking a look around, taking pictures of the creatures. I wait for a full circle so I can get the night and the daytime and see how it looks, and it's it's wonderful for me.
Yeah.
I understand if it's not for everyone, but it doesn't merit the flack that it's getting.
No, but I do have to give the one big criticism is that exploration of lacking. Now, I think you're right. I think animals, and I think you can find beautiful planets, but you've avoided the points of interest. The points of interest themselves can be there's people here, you shoot them. There may be a little bit of some story, but it definitely is lacking a little bit of, like, let's say, Star Trek. Exploration, what's
Hmm.
out there in some sense of the word. um what would you think would be a way to improve maybe that aspect of it?
Maybe make I understand that humans went everywhere during the colony wars, and there's
Hmm.
like all these abandoned places. But I think there's too many human structures around. They don't feel special,
Yeah.
and there's like the most populous faction in the entire settled systems is the Crimson Fleet. There's
Right.
like more pirates than honest people. Uh, so maybe a little less of those. I think we could have more variety in the points of interest that spawn.
Hmm.
Those could be probably we'll see how the systems are if we can add those with the mods,
Oh, I hope
and
so.
then just go in and add more unique locations, so that there's some stories there to discover. There doesn't have to be anything special, just a few notes,
Hmm.
so that it feels a little bit more special. Oh, that's dead miners again. Oh, interesting.
Right, or even one conversation to use one of your skills talking to a pirate, like you did at that first mission when you were on
Mm,
Crete. Just a simple
yeah,
one-time dialogue with this person
yeah.
about whatever notes or whatever things you found about who this person is. Like in Fallout 4, when you oh, what's her name, Big Red or something, when you kill the one of the leaders of the Corvette factory or whatever, and then he has
Mm,
notes about the other bandit leaders that are around, and then
yeah,
you can run into them, and they have their own little dialogues and conversations you can talk or hear about. I
yeah.
think that does tie a lot of the exploration into it.
You want to go. You don't necessarily go to new places for the loot. You go to see what's out there, what kind of things, who was here, or
Yeah.
who is here, and that sort of thing.
I do wish there was aliens, like
I was so sure
ruins.
there would be.
Yeah,
Mm.
me too. Just to find some old text, so it's just like the you know, just the previous history that there was something out there that was related to more Earth things. That's what I was really looking forward to. But I understand not wanting to make a bunch of Khajiit and different alien creatures. It is difficult, to say the least.
Yeah, it's we'll see what the expansions bring. I don't know if there's gonna be aliens, but
I know a mod will add it, but I would just love to see some remnants of something because it gives more reason to go out and explore and learn more about some other organization or.
if I go far enough into the unsettled system, what
Mm-hmm.
will I find? But yeah, I don't know what the whole story with the artifacts and all the structures, the anomalies. Do you find on planets? I haven't completed any of that yet. I so far it's not. I haven't got a clue what the origin of those things is. So I
And when
don't.
you
I
get
can't
there, it is
say.
ambiguous too. So don't
Mm,
worry. There's no, like, there is no real answer to it.
mm-hmm.
So You know what? It could technically be aliens in all sense, but I meant
Mm,
more of how we would see Mass Effect and have ruins um, from
mm,
precursors or something like that.
yeah.
Um, something
But
just more
maybe we get
tangible.
to be
Yeah.
you could maybe we get to be the aliens. Imagine that we are the ancient civilization who first went into space, and 50,000 years from now, someone's going to find the ruins of the ancient human civilization.
Yeah. But that's almost
That's kind
depressing because we're alone.
of, yeah.
It's only us.
Anyway, yeah.
Uh, yeah. So, oh, we talked about the buildings. So, I mean, we do have those currently, the closed structures. What do you parts of buildings would you like to see? Because we have Aquila buildings and we have all these. Like, what one of those building packs with walls and all that would you want to see first? Like, what was your style you liked in Starfield? Your favorite building style?
Um, I really love Aquila City. Even when I saw it the first time in the trailers and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was gonna live there, and I don't necessarily like the space cowboys, yeehaw, independent big settlers, no need to know other settlers attitude of the town, but I love the aesthetic there. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna build the shit out of that with that kit.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
little
gonna
on the
fill up
nose with
all
the
those.
cowboy stuff.
It's I'm gonna build. There's some of those blocked buildings that you can't access. There's like the community
Mm-hmm.
center and some sort of other barracks. So maybe unlock those and add something to the town. We'll
Yeah,
see. I have my hands full with all the things that I want to create. It's gonna take me years to complete everything I want to make for this game.
and that's the fun
I'm
part,
gonna
right?
start. Yeah, it's gonna once I've stopped playing, I have like 5,000 hours. I'm gonna do another 5,000 just modding this game. It's gonna be great.
A lot of people I know
Yeah.
are looking forward to you doing that.
Yeah, I have so many big plans, ambitious plans. Some of them are not the most exciting ones, but I want them to exist, so we'll have to see. I am I'm getting a diagnosis for ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully that will help like me focus on finishing things and get some directions because I'm all over the place. I start projects and I abandon them, and I can't focus on things unless it's like a hyperfixation moment. So a lot of the more boring stuff that I want to complete, I don't necessarily get. Like the Armour Compendium update that has been in the works for the past 5 years. Like I
Mm-hmm.
still haven't completed that because it's boring stuff. So hopefully I will be able to complete all these ambitious things like overhauling all the ship hubs so that they have static clutter.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's gonna
maybe.
be rough.
Yeah, some form of Adderall, something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
something like it. Yeah.
I took that for
So,
a
but
while.
I've Oh, yeah. We have a Finnish equivalent, but yeah, something like that will help me. But I've discovered a new thing that helps me focus. I listen to audiobooks. I haven't discovered podcasts yet that much,
Hmm.
but audiobooks because I don't have time to read. But there's so many stories I want to figure out and explore.
That's
Experience. So I put an audiobook on and then I can work and focus. Sometimes it streams. It's been streams lately, but now audiobooks, amazing. I
I'm
love it.
absolutely the same way. Like if I wanted to sit there and paint something, I need anything talking in the background. So usually I'll listen to something I've already listened to so I don't have to focus that much, but it's just enough
Mm,
distraction that I can really focus on what I'm doing. It's really weird.
yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. Instead of it distracting you, it's actually helping you focus. It's weird, but it does that. I have streams on, like people play. They might be playing games that I don't even have interest in. I just like being present and listening to them, and
yeah,
it's
like their
nice.
voice. I do that too.
Hmm.
Like find someone I like who does a certain game that I maybe played for a week and I just wanted to know the intro, but I just listen to them continuing talking about that game even if I don't play it or I'm not interested in the game anymore. I just like how they explain things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's comforting.
Mhm.
Um
So hopefully I'll be able to do that. One thing I really want to get done. I had all these mods for Skyrim and Fallout planned, but then like with new work and other stuff, I haven't had the mental marbles to to do those. But I
mhm.
really want to get the Armor Compendium update out. before Starfield modding hits, so that it's gonna be end of the year project probably at some point.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
No, that'd be a good thing to close up and be, you know,
Oh yeah.
wrap that modding Fallout 4 up with a bow.
It's I have no intention of stopping modding the older games.
Hmm.
It's just it'll have to be something that I want in my own game or some like really cool idea that I get. And it doesn't take 500 hours to complete. And I'll probably still be making mods for these games because I was tinkering with the Skyrim creation kit the other day, trying something that I had an inspiration for. I had to do that a lot. I start things and I poke around and like build like a cool interior, but I
Hmm.
don't actually finish it. And I don't have an intention of finishing it. It's just like knitting or building with Lego.
Hmm.
It's so I do that a lot. So
Keep your hands
I,
busy.
I, I yeah. So I think I'll still be doing mods for those as well.
You know, for interior spaces and whatnot, I think what there is missing is having more small towns like around Aquila or around even Neon. Maybe there's some other platforms or some other
Yes.
places. Like it just seems that it's so localized of where there's any life on these main planets that I think putting some more dialogues out there, spreading out some of the population would make the planets feel bigger, and so that there wasn't so many
Yeah.
pirates opposed to normal people.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. You could pick some of the settlements near like the systems near the main systems, and I hope, or even on the same planets. It does feel like while the cities themselves feel really busy and immersive and huge in a way, the planets don't feel huge. Like in
Mm-hmm.
Earth, there's what 8 billion people.
Yeah,
In Jemison, there's 5,000 people,
yeah,
and it feels weird.
it does.
Also, factories. Maybe some. I don't know how the kit. I don't remember how the kit pieces are because I mostly dealt with clutter and light, so I didn't do architecture all that much. So it would be nice to have like a big, more factories and that sort of thing. Of course, I guess maybe they don't want factories on Jemison. They want Mars,
Right,
Cydonia to do all that stuff. So there's that sort of like everything is spread across the stars,
but still also
distribution, manufacturing.
like having the Bob Hope. Like I love that little area that you land and it's like a little factory with people that basically
Mm,
stay on site. Like having more of that around Jameson would like really liven it up. Like a factory for all the equipment for the military, for the UC,
mm.
having their own little factory and town on Jemison. I I
And
think
a bit of farming and that sort of thing. And also, I was disappointed that we didn't actually get to go to Hopetown. We just in a factory. That's all
mm-hmm.
there was. Where do all these people live?
Yeah, that's
Let's make
true.
someone needs to make Hopetown expansion, please. Thank you.
Yeah, and just take some of the Jameson towers. Like you can go ahead and put those in there, and you don't even have to reskin them.
Yeah.
Just so it looks like people live around there.
You can get away with so much stuff by just changing a few textures. Like you have two buildings, and the other one is green, and the other one is red, and it feels different, even though it's the same mesh. So
Hmm.
something like that could easily be done.
And you run into colonies, you can use the same lines, the same things. Just rename the colonist, and you have
Yeah,
another outpost on Aquila, bigger.
right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be going around Aquila a little bit. I just love the. While I hate its gravity, I
Hmm.
do like the rest of the planet. The planet's really nice,
That's
and
funny about the gravity, like you get used to the moons and love jumping around and just kind of like flailing about. But then, like the normal
mm.
planets that are beautiful, it's like I kind of don't want to be here too long.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, oh, I tripped and the gravity broke my legs because I fell down a step.
Yeah, I
It
went
feels
down a
like that.
step.
Like how many times have I sprained something in Aquila? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like busted, hemorrhaging. You're like, oh my god, what? My god, how old is my character? It's got some brittle bones.
I do love that though when you have like a sprained thing and then you get joint pain when you crouch. I love that. That is next level immersion.
Yeah, I wish they would go a little farther with some of that stuff, especially on the planetary radiation and cold and stuff like that. I understand why they
Mhm.
didn't, but still, you should keep it attached for hardcore mode.
Yeah, some of the planets that are supposedly cold, it's so funny that you're like, you're suffering from hypothermia, and I'm like, dude, it's jeans, it's shorts and hoodie weather, like minus 15 Celsius. I'm like, this is not cold. This is average winter in Finland. Like, and then you go into a place and it says minus 15 Celsius, and there's green plants everywhere, and it's like spring. And this isn't how cold works either.
Yeah,
Some of them are a little amiss, and then there's like this other planet where it's minus 300 Celsius. I'm like, yeah, this is legit. Now there shouldn't be any life in here. At
yeah,
least no green leaves. Oh, what do I know? They're space leaves. They could be thriving in minus 15.
that's right. Space leaves. It just works. That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious. Like extreme cold, and it was like sleeting or something on the planet. I was like, oh, this feels just like home. I'm gonna build my outpost here. It looks like Skyrim. There's been a couple of planets that look like Skyrim, and there's snow.
Yeah, yeah,
And then it's like
exactly.
then it's like extreme planetary conditions. You can't make an outpost here.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and it has like
I
pine trees around. It's yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I think there's one near Jameson that's like that.
Yeah, and then there's the other side of it's like there's snow everywhere and it looks really cold. And then you look at the temperature and it's like plus 14. I mean, what? This is spring weather. This is like late summer in Finland, and you're telling me that there's snow everywhere.
Yeah,
Snow doesn't work like this.
need some rebalancing.
Water, yeah. There's some of the planets are a little silly, like with the temperature, but you don't have to pay attention to the temperature to enjoy the planet. Sometimes it's funny. Most of the time, it's cool to be like walking around in minus 200 or plus 200.
Mhm. Yeah, which is a little ridiculous since you're getting hypothermia at plus 15, you know.
It's true. Like I have spacesuit modifications maxed out. This is the most high tech spacesuit you can build. I shouldn't be getting hypothermia 5 minutes after exiting my ship on this planet. Please. Sometimes these resistances to environmental hazards, it's a little bit silly.
Yeah, I mean, they have it and they have perks for you to benefit it because obviously at some point they were going to make it a bigger deal than it was. Um,
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, you can see the like under the surface workings of that, like
mhm.
game mechanic.
And some of those things that they cut out make me sad. Just like that they had the interplanetary travel, so all the planets are actually 3D models that you can fly up to.
Yeah, that's cool.
So they had plans at some point that you can fly through the system.
Mm,
Um, all the planets are on the right side, so the further you travel, the harder it would be to find fuel. So fuel was a bigger idea at first too. So there's like a lot of systems that I would have loved to see that they pulled back on, and I'm
yeah.
happy modders are taking that up and finding the old systems the best they can with Xedit. But
I think
CK,
it's yeah. CK is gonna be better. It's a more efficient way of looking at the data in some cases. I think it would be actually better as a mod because it gives the option of that for those who would like it. And then there's people like me who love fast traveling, and I'm like, I just love that I can just click on the star map in my home in Aquila and end up on the other side of out of the settled systems without having to walk up to my ship and taking off into space and then choosing where to travel or anything like
mm-hmm.
that. I'm pretty sure they just didn't have time to find the balance, so they took it out.
Because I love the convenience, but that's kind of part of the problem. Because you can say, "Oh, don't do it that way. Go get in your ship and land and stuff." And if I have the option, I'm going to take the shortcut. Not because
Yeah,
I necessarily want to play the game that way. It's just because there's a human nature in me that's like, I'm going to take advantage of not having to go do this quest and come back to the same place, take 20 minutes. I'll have it take, 3 minutes.
yeah, exactly.
So I need some sort of cage for myself. That's why I like the survival modes.
Yeah, survival mode in Fallout 4 is great. Once you start playing with that, it's really hard to go back to not having it. I miss it
Hmm.
whenever I like lower the difficulty and just try playing very hard or something. Survival mode is great for except ammo weights. I love that Starfield doesn't have ammo weight.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Um, you know, I'm hoping for something like. Did you ever play Requiem for Skyrim?
No, I know about it, but never tried it.
It does something that I really liked for food and drink and whatnot. That if you had food and drink, you were able to replenish your stamina and magic and health. That's how you would get natural um, replenishment. Otherwise, it just wouldn't replenish. So it was a way for you to go, okay, I don't have to eat, but it's going to be a real pain in between fights because I won't be able to recharge my health. And I thought that
Yeah.
was a really neat way of like not necessarily punishing like most food things does where they take away all your health, they take away all your stamina and you're just constantly walking around like crippled and like that's it. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's one streamer I follow who plays Skyrim like that, like ultra hard. He has that thing where he has to like make camp, and I like that. I also liked it in Fallout 76 when they changed the survival mode thing where you don't have to eat and drink, but if you do, you get benefits.
Mhm.
I don't remember eating and drinking most of the time, so it kind of like survival mode reminding me as well. But so that you don't get punished if you don't, but you get benefits if you do.
That's exactly it. That's it. There's something that you're getting from it, and it gives you inspiration to cook like that really fancy creme brulee or whatever that gives you 20 more regen to your health. That would actually be meaningful to you in that
Hmm.
situation. I like that because you have all these wonderful models. Like, look at all the food models in Starfield. They're
Right.
gorgeous, but I don't
Right. There's so
eat.
much, yeah. Yeah, so much effort was put into it, but I'm sorry, but 5% more oxygen for 2 minutes is not gonna make me want to carry bunches of food with me. Sorry.
That's right. Minus CO2 consumption. It's just like,
Yeah.
what?
Some of the food should be that's like some really powerful foods in Fallout 76. I keep comparing to it because there's some neat stuff in that.
Hmm.
Like berry menta, it's actually 7%, like 7 points to intelligence, or um Granberry relish is 25% more if you have herbivore perk, 25% more XP, and it lasts an hour. So if you're leveling up, it's really good. It's a really good boost. That sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
you get kidding me? 3% more XP for 2 minutes, but 2% more companion affinity for 2 minutes. What am I gonna do with this? I forget that it exists before I even start that.
I know,
Give
and you
me a
couldn't.
proper
You
buff.
would have to go into your inventory and eat this 2% boon. Like you couldn't just eat it when you saw it. Like I'm glad they fixed that, but still, it was like, what?
Yeah,
Why?
give me 20% companion affinity for an hour, and then I'll bother cooking that thing. Right?
Hmm. Fallout 76 is a good point because Fallout 76 is for multiple people and they're trying to make every system in it somewhat addictive, right? They want you to use these things so you trade with others. You want to get more of it through bonuses that you pay for premium perks type of thing. Like there's a reason it works is because they're trying to make those systems addictive, and they should do the same for
Hmm.
single player games that you want to find these things or use these drugs that give you benefits like amp and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
You,
76
I,
is a
I
good
just
point.
right now. I just carry all those rugs, but I never remember to use them because the bonuses are just so small.
Hmm. Yeah. The only one
But
that I
again,
find useful is Aurora, and that's like illegal everywhere. So,
my character hasn't done Aurora yet. Unofficially, yes, because I tried it. I quick saved and I tried it. And I was like, okay, and quick load it, and so it doesn't count.
yeah, there you go. Time travel back in time before you made that
Yeah,
decision. It's a good one though because it's basically jet.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, which I find to be the most useful in Fallout 4 for sure.
Granted, I play on normal difficulty because I want to explore and get my bearings and enjoy the game without being hindered too much. So I haven't played on harder difficulties yet, but I can see myself playing the next round a bit harder mode. So
Hmm.
I can see the drugs being more useful, things like Aurora,
Oh yeah.
and some of the battle steams that give you like damage resistance and stuff could be more useful with harder difficulties.
I play in the hard, and you can survive just fine. It really didn't
Mm,
increase it enough to have you lean on those things, which is kind of a
mm,
shame. But I'm glad other modders are taking survival mode and trying to implement it, because I think it would give so much more to this game,
mm.
having to use all that wonderful food, to have to make your own outpost to get fuel to get further out into the star system. Yeah, there's just so many benefits, I think, that was originally created that would
Hmm.
even make this better. That's my spiel. I already asked you this one, but like, if you can have any mod tomorrow, like just everything you wanted to add, like one super mod for this game, what would it be?
This is gonna sound silly because I want a player home that has static clutter and it's pre-built so I don't have to decorate it myself and it has place for storing all my loot. I'm just a hoarder and I like keeping every unique item and like every all the rewards that you get from different quests,
Mhm.
suits and weapons. I want to store those and I want a pretty home where I can come after all that exploring and just chill and play play some inventory management mini game and
There's something so funny about playing a game of space and exploration, and your number one thing is like, I want to be shut in my beautiful house.
I mean, yeah, I was actually surprised because I thought I would live in my ship, but then the ship is not. Maybe I could make habs that make you want to feel like you want to live in your ship. Right now, I don't want to. Every time I change my ship, the clutter disappears and then it's in my cargo.
Yeah.
So I want static clutter for all the ship habs before I do that. And Aquila is such a vibe. It's just so beautiful. I love the atmosphere in it. It's perfect. I while New Atlantis is really impressive, I
Hmm.
don't. It's not my like personal vibe. Maybe
Hmm.
maybe the well apartment might be.
Traversing it is a little more annoying too.
It's I don't. I think it shows that how complete this game kind of is. I don't. I can see little things making it better. I can see adding new armors and making like a new game playthroughs more interesting.
Hmm.
But right now, I can't think of something that would like, really improve this game for me, other than having a beautiful home.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't fault you for that. I just think it's funny, that the universe game, and you're still, of course, Eleonora, who wants to make that perfect house with functionality to it. So I can't fault you
Yeah.
for that. uh,
Yeah. It's weird.
is there any mod you're working on right now that you want people to know about that's coming out? Anything like that?
Nothing yet, especially for Starfield. No.
Hmm. Oh, even
I've
Fallout
been
or Skyrim.
no, I haven't been inspired. I've been working too much
Mm,
IRL too
yeah.
much lately, and just no mental marbles for most things. But eventually, the Armour Compendium update is coming out. It was supposed to come out in September,
Hmm.
but then life happened and then Starfield happened and I don't understand why I promised myself I would complete all these modding projects for other games when Starfield was out. I should have known that I'd spend hundreds of hours on this instead.
I think it may have to do with ADHD. And it's the same way of taking on too many things you want to do, and too many projects you want to poke at, and things you want to learn.
Yeah, it's I have so many ideas in my head but I just can't get them started or finished. But um November, end of November and start of December is Fallout for Hope. So I'll be doing that. I haven't posted anything yet, but I will be taking part in Fallout for Hope again. So I will be doing streams, probably modding streams as well. I don't think I'll start in November yet. I'll probably do that on December, like last year and before that. So that's a thing
Oh,
that
wonderful.
will be happening.
And what's that
Um,
charity for again? I believe
uh,
I can't remember.
it's a charity for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital
Oh,
that
very good.
helps
Child cancer and
childhood cancer, yeah, research and treatment, so that every child can get care. So while it's not, it's an American thing, I believe. Still think I have people in my community who've actually been getting like help from St. Jude, so
hmm,
it's close to my heart, and it's been wonderful each year to be part of Fallout for Hope. I'll be probably doing Starfield for Hope more like,
right.
but we'll see. I'll have to. I'm starting planning now, and by the end of November, I should have it all planned out. So modding streams will be continuing.
So will it show up in your Discord or your YouTube for people finding the dates? So when you do put
Mm,
out the dates?
Probably Facebook and Twitter. I use those the most. Probably I will try to remember to post on YouTube as well. I'm so terrible with YouTube. I wanted to make more content there, but
Hmm. Well, you could always just do the verbal on there, the type it out and say, "Hey, I'm doing,"
yeah.
because I can leave that link for you.
Yeah. So it'll be across all my socials, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, all of that, and some sort of schedule and incentives for donations and stuff like that. It's in planning phase right now. It did kick off this week, last
Hmm.
week, with the whole group and the whole initiative, but I will be taking part in December.
Got it. And I'll put links to your Discord down below so you can follow that and definitely give to a good cause. I definitely will. I think I missed it last year, but I will definitely put my money where my mouth is and help out as well because it is a good cause.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Eleanor. I appreciate you taking the time out and doing this interview. I'm looking forward
This
to.
was fun.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to the CK, and if you're
Yes.
interested, we can do like a little tutorial of showing some lighting and stuff when it drops. I think it'd be really fun and help new players get involved in
For
modding.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Well,
Maybe I'll be more productive if I do it with you and instead of trying to juggle a million things on my own.
I found, as I said, I did it with Desi, and it was so nice to just go and help and kind of point out questions because when you're good at doing the specific thing, you forget all the basic stuff that no one knows. So it helps to have someone go,
Yeah.
"Wait, hold on, what's a cell?" you know. And
Oh, right. Yeah.
so I thought I think is really good information doing it that way. Doing a
Oh, yeah.
little question and answer on the site. Maybe at some point I'll do some live because other people may have good questions too. But I think
Very
it's
cool.
anything to help new people get into modding. I want to help acclimate that. I think that's really useful for the community to have new
Definitely.
blood.
Agreed. Really like helping new modders come in as well. So hence making tutorials sometimes when I find the inspiration.
Exactly. And if you ever need any editing or thumbnails or something like that for that, I'm more than willing to help out on the community
Oh,
aspect for
thank
sure.
you. Nice. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Elliot. Have a good rest of your evening, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's 9 p.m. I'm gonna go play some Starfield. Actually,
Oh, hyped you
I'm
up.
starved. Yeah, I haven't played him in so many days. Just work and other things. I wanna play.
Well, have fun in the stars.
Thank you so much.